David Darst, for the people that know him, he will go down as one of the most brilliant people that's ever entered this industry. First of all, he would have been successful at absolutely anything. He's the quintessential Renaissance man.
We bring in right now David Darst, Chief Investment Strategist at Morgan Stanley Smith Barney.
Nice to see you, Maria.
So, David, you're at the SALT conference, largest hedge fund conference.
David, I think at his core, is a teacher.
President Bush did a
He's a
phenomenal
mentor.
job
He spent
yesterday.
a great deal of time not only in the business, but adding to the business by virtue of finding great people at the undergraduate and graduate level.
Raised in Nashville, Tennessee, David Martin Darst has become one of the most influential people in the world of finance. Having earned his BA in economics from Yale, as well as an MBA from Harvard, David launched his career at Goldman Sachs, eventually rising to the position of Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of the Global Equities Division.
His early history in our business, basically, he graduated from Harvard Business School in 1971. He went to work at Goldman Sachs. He opened the Zurich office for Goldman, mastered Swiss German, among other languages. He was the real innovator for Goldman Sachs's breakout into the institutional international markets. He came back to New York and ran Goldman Sachs's international sales desk for many, many years. He then went into cost control and cost containment for the equities division and saved several $1 billion for Goldman Sachs.
1996. David Darst joins forces with Morgan Stanley, ascending to the role of Managing Director and Chief Investment Strategist for Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Total client assets, $1.7 trillion. Darst is responsible for asset allocation and investment strategy and was founding president of the Morgan Stanley Investment Group.
So, David Darst, I happened to look at the recommendations that you have made on WealthTrack over the last 2.25 years, and you have been tracking, the biggest trends. We would have made a lot of money had we followed your recommendations.
One of the most important things that I've learned from investing from the great masters, many of whom are sitting in this room, is at the right price, that value and safety are price dependent.
You gotta be really passionate about something. He's
happened?
passionate
What changed
about
that everybody's
stocks
cutting
and
down
bonds.
And the bad incoming data, the industrial
And he's
production,
learned
the
and
Philly
read
Fed, the
everything
Empire
you
State,
can
the
possibly
ISM
think of.
manufacturing.
He's one of the best guys as it relates to analyzing something, using metaphors and similes in a way that will get anybody to understand what he's talking about.
We would take a little bit of risk off the table. It's like switching your windshield wipers on or turning the lights on with a little drizzle. If it gets worse, you're prepared. If it doesn't, you're happy to turn them back off. The markets are like a child clamoring for a toy, and the toy is the right policy response.
David has an enormous amount of energy and an enormous amount of intellect for different parts of the business. Traveled globally, met investors, met colleagues of his everywhere from Hong Kong to London.
Darst is a best-selling author of 8 books, which have been translated into 9 languages. He's a regular contributor on CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox, PBS, and other major financial news outlets, and is a popular lecturer at the nation's leading business schools.
He's writing books on tactical and long-term strategic capital asset allocation. He is one of the most prolific writers in the research department at Morgan Stanley today.
David's passions outside the business world are diverse. He has completed 8 New York City marathons.
Photography certainly is an interest of his. Poetry. I think he could quote to you every one of Shakespeare's 54 sonnets.
He's a motorcycle enthusiast. He's a aficionado of the arts. We went to Harvard Law School once to recruit, and Harvard Business School, but we got there early and we went on a tour at the Bush Museum at the Harvard Law School, and we spent an hour and a half with a guide discussing Neo-Raphaelite paintings. This is the kind of guy David Darst is. David is an inspiration to people because his life story is an American dream. And what he's tried to do for so many others, including myself, is he's tried to be part of our American dreams. I think he's done an unbelievable job of helping so many people find their passions in life.
He doesn't spend his time or his money in an effort to get recognized for it. His sole goal is to make sure that the people who need the help get the help.
There's very few things that I think that David could have gotten into that he wouldn't have been one of the best at. But I do think he loves his job. I think he loves his work. I think he loves his life. He has a sense of joie de vivre like nobody I've ever met.